Hello Lakers fan, if you are one of those who are always up to date with the news about our Lakers, then you need to stay tuned to what is coming up on our Lakers news channel. I am preparing exclusive coverage on the possible signings of Lake hairs, and what I can tell you is that rumors are catching fire on social media, and if you don't want to miss any information, stay tuned. We have exclusive news every day. If you are a true Lakers and don't want to be left out of the news, be sure to subscribe. Subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. Let's go to the video. LeBron James hinting at his NBA future. And Jeff Teague is concerned about what he's hearing. As LeBron James wraps up his 21st season in the NBA, one of his former rivals is starting to sense something many fans have quietly wondered. Is the king finally getting tired? While it's unlikely that LeBron will surpass Michael Jordan in the never-ending GOAT debate, what he's still doing at age 40 is nothing short of extraordinary. Yet, despite his brilliance, the dream of winning a fifth NBA championship slipped through his fingers this year. The Lakers were eliminated in the first round by the Minnesota Timberwolves, cutting his postseason run far shorter than he hoped. Though many expect LeBron to return for the 2025-26 season, he hasn't officially confirmed his decision, and that silence is starting to raise questions. Jeff Teague thinks LeBron might be losing that inner fire. Former NBA guard Jeff Teague, who faced LeBron many times throughout his career, shared some honest thoughts about LeBron's mindset during the playoffs. Speaking on his Club 520 podcast, Teague said he's picked up on something different in LeBron's demeanor. He's kinda been hinting that he's ready to pass the torch, Teague said. Not that he's tired, like physically done, but just, mentally, it feels like he's preparing to step back. Those little comments, they mean something. One of those comments? A post-playoff joke LeBron made about being traded like Anthony Davis, a line that some found surprisingly off-brand for a player known for controlling the narrative so carefully. LeBron never used to joke about that stuff, Teague added. Back in his prime? He'd never even mentioned the idea of being traded, not even playfully. That's not something he would have said before. Still dominating, even in defeat. Despite the early exit, LeBron's performance on the court was far from disappointing. In the 5-game series against the Timberwolves, he averaged 25.4 points, 9 rebounds, and played heavier minutes on defense due to the Lakers' roster imbalance. Statistically, he held up his end. But mentally, that's where the questions are surfacing. Is LeBron still chasing the dream of playing with his sons? The narrative around LeBron wanting to stay in the league long enough to play alongside both of his sons, Bronny and Bryce, has been circulating for years. But even that dream now seems uncertain. Teague expressed doubt during the podcast, especially when discussing 17-year-old Bryce James. I don't even think Bryce is focused on the NBA yet, Teague said. He's gonna be a solid college player, sure, but I don't see the same trajectory. And I don't think LeBron's going to hang around just for a maybe. It's a rare moment of realism in a league that often clings to fairytale endings. But Teague's concerns aren't coming from a place of criticism. They're coming from someone who respects LeBron's greatness and recognizes the emotional and mental toll of carrying the league for 2 decades. The end of an era, or just a new chapter. Whether LeBron decides to run it back one more time or walk away on his own terms, the truth is clear. The NBA is bracing for a massive shift. His legacy is untouchable. His presence, irreplaceable. And his next move, whatever it may be, will change the league forever. For now, all eyes remain on the king. Not just for what he'll do next, but for what his silence might already be saying. What LeBron's uncertainty means for the Lakers' future. With LeBron James remaining publicly non-committal about returning for another season, the uncertainty is beginning to cast a long shadow over the Los Angeles Lakers organization. Behind closed doors, team executives are said to be preparing for every possible outcome, from a full-on farewell tour, to a surprise early retirement, to even the long-shot scenario of LeBron leaving LA altogether to join another team, potentially one closer to his son's future basketball paths. While LeBron has often emphasized his desire to stay close to family, the logistics are becoming more complicated. Bronny James is expected to enter the NBA draft soon, and Bryce James is still navigating his high school and collegiate decisions. If the stars don't align for a father-son pairing, LeBron may have to ask himself whether it's worth extending his legendary career any further. The locker room is watching, and so is the league. According to reports from insiders around the Lakers, teammates are aware of the tension. While there's deep respect for what LeBron continues to bring to the court, there's also a growing realization that the clock may truly be winding down. One anonymous player told The Athletic, "We all feel it. You can just tell. He's still locked in, but there's this detachment sometimes. Like is processing something bigger than basketball. That kind of energy affects everything, from off-season planning to locker room chemistry to free agent recruitment. If LeBron walks away, the Lakers lose not just a superstar, but the centerpiece around which the entire roster has been built. Pressure mounts on Lakers front office. General manager Rob Pelinka and head coach Darvin Ham are now under immense pressure to retool the roster, whether LeBron stays or not. The Lakers' first-round playoff exit exposed glaring issues: lack of depth, poor perimeter defense, and over-reliance on aging stars. Fixing those issues is urgent, especially if they hope to convince LeBron that one more run is worth it. There are already whispers of trade talks surrounding key pieces, including D'Angelo Russell and even Austin Reeves, depending on who becomes available on the market this summer. Names like Donovan Mitchell and DeJounte Murray have surfaced as potential targets to reshape the team around Anthony Davis, or around LeBron, if he stays. The NBA without LeBron? A shift the league isn't ready for. Beyond the Lakers, the idea of a post-LeBron NBA is difficult to fully grasp. LeBron James has been the face of the league for over 2 decades. His presence has shaped marketing strategies, global fan engagement, and broadcast ratings. His eventual exit isn't just a farewell, it's a massive transition for the entire NBA brand. Adam Silver and league executives are already planning tributes and commemorative events just in case next season is his last. Merchandise teams are preparing potential farewell tour collections. And media partners are strategizing coverage around what could be one of the most emotional seasons in league history. LeBron's legacy isn't finished, but it's evolving. Whether LeBron comes back for one final season or decides to step away this summer, one thing is clear: he's thinking deeply about legacy now more than ever. He's no longer just playing for titles. He's playing for meaning. For moments. For his family. For something that transcends statistics or championship rings. And while fans may want one more season of magic, the truth is, LeBron James has already given the game everything. If this is the final act, it's only fitting that he gets to write the ending on his own terms. Stephen A. Smith says Mavericks and Cooper Flag now have legitimate questions for Luka Doncic and the Lakers. It's a narrative no one saw coming, but thanks to a 1.8% miracle in the NBA draft lottery, the Dallas Mavericks now hold the no. 1 pick, and suddenly, the conversation around Luka Doncic and the Los Angeles Lakers is shifting in a big way. When the Mavericks traded away Doncic, the backlash was immediate. Pundits, players, and fans alike blasted Dallas, especially GM Nico Harrison, for giving up on a generational superstar. But just weeks later, things look a lot different. The Lakers were bounced in the first round of the playoffs by the Minnesota Timberwolves, while Doncic's physical conditioning and defensive liabilities were exposed on the big stage. Meanwhile, Dallas surged. With Anthony Davis now wearing a Mavericks jersey, Kyrie Irving expected to return healthy, veteran leadership from Klay Thompson, and soon-to-be rookie phenom Cooper Flag joining the squad, the narrative is no longer so one-sided. Stephen A. Smith says the tables are turning. On First Take, Stephen A. Smith, never one to shy away from controversy, became the first major voice to flip the script and ask the uncomfortable, but increasingly relevant, questions. "I was really happy for Nico Harrison," Smith said. "Because after watching Luka on defense, how many guys blew right past him in those playoff games, you start to understand what Harrison was seeing. He talked about building a championship team, about defense mattering. And he brought in Anthony Davis to anchor that side of the ball. Now, with Kyrie, Klay, and Cooper Flag, don't sleep on Dallas." Smith went further, stating that the Mavericks could soon look like the winners of this blockbuster deal. If the Mavericks are winning and the Lakers, with Luka, are not, then we have to start asking real questions. What happens to the Lakers if Luka doesn't deliver? What happens to Nico Harrison if his vision actually works? Those are legitimate questions. From ridiculed to reconsidered. When the trade first happened, Nico Harrison was widely criticized. Trading away a superstar in his prime felt like NBA malpractice. But with hindsight, and a lot of bad Lakers defense on tape, more analysts are seeing his vision. The Lakers sorely missed Anthony Davis's presence in the paint. Donciac's offensive brilliance wasn't enough to cover up his struggles on the other end, and with no secondary star stepping up, the Lakers faltered. Now, the Mavericks are positioned to build something scary. Cooper Flag isn't just a top prospect. He's seen as a future cornerstone. A defensive-minded forward with elite IQ and leadership? It's exactly the kind of player who complements the pieces Dallas already has. But is it too soon to call Nico a genius? Stephen A. Smith has built a career on bold takes, and this is no exception. Yes, Dallas hit the lottery. Yes, the Lakers fell short. But calling Harrison a genius is still a stretch for many. Let's not forget, he traded Luka Doncic, one of the most skilled offensive players the league has ever seen, and did so without a guarantee that things would come together. Cooper Flagg, for all his hype, hasn't played a single NBA minute. And both Davis and Irving are known for being injury-prone. The same unpredictability that gave Dallas a draft miracle could turn the other way if health doesn't hold up. Doncic and the Lakers aren't done yet. It's also worth remembering that the Lakers have a long track record of building winning teams, and Doncic has only just begun his journey in LA. The front office is expected to make significant roster changes this offseason, aiming to surround Doncic with a kind of support that can hide his defensive flaws and let him focus on what he does best, creating magic on offense. While some might now say they'd rather be in Dallas's shoes, most around the league still believe that the Lakers, armed with star power, championship culture, and a global brand, aren't going anywhere. The bottom line? The pressure's on both sides. For Nico Harrison, the opportunity is massive, but so is the risk. If Cooper Flagg becomes the next great two-way superstar and the Mavericks make a deep playoff run, history might just vindicate him. But if Doncic figures things out in LA and starts winning at a high level, Dallas may forever wear the label of the team that let greatness walk out the door. Either way, one thing is clear, the story isn't finished, and both franchises are now racing to prove they made the right call. The Doncic gamble, Lars bet, Dallas redemption? As the dust settles around one of the most shocking trades in recent NBA history, the long-term implications are only just beginning to surface. Luka Doncic's move to Los Angeles was supposed to signal a new super era for the Lakers, a seamless transition from LeBron James to another generational talent. But the early results have complicated that vision. After a disappointing first-round playoff exit and glaring concerns over Doncic's stamina and defensive engagement, questions have begun bubbling to the surface in LA. The front office expected instant contention. What they got instead was a reality check. Offensive brilliance doesn't erase defensive liabilities or fix roster imbalances. Meanwhile, in Dallas, a new era begins. Back in Texas, the mood has shifted from regret to quiet confidence. Nico Harrison's bold decision to trade Doncic was initially met with disbelief, even outrage, but now looks a bit more calculated than reckless. Anthony Davis, when healthy, is still one of the most dominant two-way players in basketball. Kyrie Irving is expected to return next season refreshed and motivated. Klay Thompson brings veteran leadership and floor spacing. And now, Cooper Flagg, perhaps the most NBA-ready prospect since Zion Williamson, is poised to inject the franchise with a whole new identity. Flagg's arrival is more than just about talent. It's about symbolism. It marks a clear turning of the page, from the Doncic era to a more balanced, defense-first team culture. His high basketball IQ, relentless motor, and ability to impact both ends of the floor make him an ideal cornerstone for the next generation of Mavericks basketball. The league is watching and reacting. Executives around the league are now re-evaluating their stance on the Dallas trade. What once seemed like a surrender is beginning to look more like a long-term reset, and one that might pay off sooner than expected. You don't trade a guy like Luka unless you've got a plan, one Western Conference GM reportedly told The Ringer. Now it's clear Nico had a vision, and maybe the guts to make a move nobody else would have. Even scouts who previously questioned the Mavericks' direction are now praising the front office for betting on upside and two-way versatility, something that's becoming increasingly essential in deep playoff runs. Pressure mounting in Los Angeles. For the Lakers, the stakes are high. The LeBron era is effectively over, and Doncic was brought in to be the face of the future. But if the team doesn't build a roster that masks his defensive issues and maximizes his offensive brilliance, the Lakers risk squandering the prime years of one of the league's most talented players. There are already reports that Lakers brass is eyeing big changes, including potential trades, coaching shifts, and a complete reimagining of the supporting cast. Doncic may not have asked for a trade, but now that he's in Hollywood, expectations are sky high, and the margin for error is razor thin. Two franchises. Two paths. One defining decision. At the heart of this evolving story lies a single truth. Both Dallas and Los Angeles have bet their futures on very different philosophies. The Lakers are going all in on a heliocentric star, building around Doncic's offense and trusting they can tweak the rest. The Mavericks, in contrast, are embracing depth, defense, and balance. Cooper Flagg isn't expected to be Luka. He's expected to be the beginning of something entirely new. And that's what makes this so compelling. Because only time will tell who made the right call. If Dhoni hoists a title in purple and gold, Dallas will have to live with the consequences of letting him go. But if the Mavericks rise, behind flag, AD, and a defense-first identity, then maybe, just maybe, Nico Harrison pulled off the unthinkable, trading away a superstar and winning the war anyway. Stephen Curry and the Warriors react to the shocking Luka-Dhoni trade. It's been months since the blockbuster trade, but for many, it still doesn't feel real. Luka-Dhoni is now the face of the Los Angeles Lakers. The Dallas Mavericks made the stunning decision to part ways with one of the most gifted players of his generation. While that move left Mavericks fans in disbelief, the Lakers were more than happy to seize the moment. Losing Anthony Davis was a big sacrifice, but Dhoni feels like the perfect successor to carry the torch after LeBron James. When the news broke, the initial reaction was one of pure disbelief. Fans, players, and media alike thought it had to be fake. Lakers supporters erupted in celebration, while Mavericks fans were left heartbroken, confused, angry, and betrayed. Even Dallas sports stars like C.D. Lamb admitted the trade felt like a gut punch to the entire city. As for the Golden State Warriors, it's safe to say they weren't thrilled either. Given their intense rivalry with the Lakers, seeing Dhoni land in Los Angeles raises the stakes dramatically. A video recently surfaced, shared by House of Highlights, showing Stephen Curry, Draymond Green, Brandon Podziemski, Kyle Anderson, and Buddy Hield reacting live to the news during a charity poker tournament. The players stare at their phones in disbelief. Curry even lets out an audible gasp, while assistant coach RelemKobe asks aloud, "Is this real?" Their reactions speak volumes. Pure shock. It's rare, almost unheard of, for a superstar like Dhoni to be traded while still in his prime, especially when he never asked to leave. All signs pointed to him wanting to spend his entire career in Dallas. But according to reports, concerns over his conditioning and defense led the organization to move on. Though Dhoni has remained diplomatic when talking about the Mavericks, it's clear there's still some pain and unresolved emotion from how things ended. That said, he's found a new home, and a new beginning, with a Lakers franchise that seems fully committed to building around him for the long haul. JJ Redick wants to unlock Luka's full potential. Lakers head coach JJ Redick has a unique connection with Dhoni, dating back to their days as teammates in Dallas. That familiarity could prove invaluable. Redick understands how to bring the best out of Luka, and has made it clear, he's all in on helping the Slovenian star reach his full potential in purple and gold. The trade that shook the league. The Luka-Dhoni trade hasn't just reshaped two franchises, it sent shockwaves through the entire NBA. Analysts have called it one of the most impactful player moves since LeBron's decision era. Social media erupted the moment the deal became official, with hashtags like #LukaToLA and #MavsMistake trending for days. Inside the league, players and executives are still processing the long-term consequences. This isn't just a trade. It's a seismic shift, said one anonymous Western Conference GM. You don't get chances to build around a generational talent like Luka more than once every couple of decades. For the Mavericks, the fallout has been intense. Fans protested outside the American Airlines Center the week after the trade, demanding answers from the front office. Some season ticket holders even threatened to pull their memberships. The organization's press conference, meant to calm the backlash, only added fuel to the fire when team president Nico Harrison vaguely cited strategic vision and future flexibility as the rationale, statements that felt hollow in the wake of losing a franchise cornerstone. Meanwhile, in Los Angeles, there's a new energy around the team, one that hasn't been felt since LeBron's prime championship run. Dhoni has been spotted working out at the Lakers facility with Redick and other teammates, looking leaner and more focused than ever. He's also been praised for quickly embracing the city's culture, attending Dodgers games and even being seen training with Kobe Bryant's former trainer, hinting at a new level of commitment. Curry's subtle warning. Though the Warriors were caught off guard, Stephen Curry didn't shy away from addressing the trade a few days later. In a post-practice interview, he commented, "Anytime a player like Luka switches teams, you know the league's going to feel it. We'll be ready." A short but loaded statement, one that reflects both respect and competitive fire. With Dhoni in Los Angeles, the Warriors-Lakers rivalry has a fresh spark. The upcoming season already feels like it's building toward multiple marquee matchups, potentially even a high-stakes playoff showdown. NBA scheduling executives are reportedly prioritizing primetime slots for these clashes, anticipating record-breaking viewership numbers. The bigger picture. From a business standpoint, the NBA is thriving off the narrative. Dhoni wearing purple and gold means international viewership is poised to skyrocket. He's already one of the most popular global athletes, and now he's on the league's most iconic team. Jersey sales are up. Ticket prices at Crypto.com Arena have soared. This isn't just a sports story, it's a cultural moment. And for Luka, this trade may mark the beginning of a new legacy. One where he's not just a star, but the star in one of basketball's brightest spotlights.